It's another video of a peeping Tom here in the college area, and students are frustrated because they say the streetlights still don't work.
People brace for the travel crush as this holiday weekend winds down. We'll bring you out here to San Diego International Airport to see how things look.
Hire Heroes USA, a national nonprofit helping to find veterans work right here in San Diego.
Plus, the federal program that could make your student loan payments more affordable. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. Video taken in the middle of the night shows a man sneaking around a home where several female San Diego State students live. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The women were awake and they saw a motion light turn on, alerting them to the stranger outside their back door. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live from the college area with the details and concerns from neighbors. Steve.
Yeah, Carlo, I spoke with several students who say they used to go for walks at night, but definitely don't anymore, especially with what is going on here. And once you take a look at this video, you will understand their concerns. A guy caught on camera lurking outside a home occupied by several San Diego State co-eds.
That video was taken at 3 in the morning. Two of my roommates were actually still awake and they had the curtain open. So I think he could kind of see in there and see them in there. And as
this student, who asked not to be identified, sent us the video from her home. She thinks the only thing that scared him away were the motion lights turning on.
I think he definitely would have tried to get in that door, which is definitely terrifying.
It's the second time in 3 weeks that she's captured a creeper on camera. The first was a guy looking into her bedroom window.
It's very scary. Surprising.
These two neighbors, who also asked not to be identified, had heard there was a peeping Tom spotted near school, but says neither the university nor the police told them it happened on their block. They didn't find out until today when we told them.
I wish they told us like it was our street maybe so we could take more caution, but we had no idea.
Making a bad situation worse, the streetlights in their neighborhood don't work. Haven't since they moved in. And when other neighbors reported it on the city's Get It Done app, they were told it would take nearly a year to fix.
And I just don't see why it's not a priority to protect the students.
Neighborhood crime is definitely a concern around here. We noticed several police cars while we were working on our story, and this student says she unexpectedly found out why.
We heard some commotion going on and we look and there's a guy running through our backyard, kind of stumbling over, falling, dropping stuff, and he hopped back over our fence. And then we come outside and there's a police car out front and saying oh, he's a robber, and we're like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, pretty scary morning for them. Now, we did reach out to the city of San Diego about the streetlight situation, but because today is a holiday, Carlo and Marcella, they did not get back to us. We will definitely, though, be following up with them on this situation, because I got to tell you, several students I spoke with said they are so frustrated at how dark it is out here at night.
Yeah, we've been following this story, and to see that another person was captured on camera, that is very unnerving. So in the meantime, what are students doing to protect themselves?
Well, one thing is those cameras. We're seeing a lot more doorbell cameras, cameras put up on the houses out in this neighborhood. Another thing is we're seeing more motion detector lights as well to try and scare people away. That seemed to work in this latest situation. And a couple of people I spoke with said their roommates have actually started taking self-defense classes because they are that concerned for their safety.
Wow, well, it is concerning when you see something like that on your video, so good thing that they're being proactive, but we do hope those streetlights get fixed. Thanks for staying on top of this, Steve. We'll see you in a bit. Sure. One person is dead tonight after being hit by a train in the Bay Park neighborhood. It happened just after 3:30 this afternoon near Morena Boulevard and Tecolote Road. This is the second fatal train versus pedestrian incident in just 24 hours. A man was killed by a coaster commuter train in the Middleton area yesterday afternoon. The San Diego Sheriff's Department is investigating both incidents. Tonight, healthcare workers across California are rallying for Labor Day. Today, around 200 workers from local hospitals gathered at Griffin Park in La Mesa to make sure their message is heard. They are calling for better working conditions and higher pay. They say worker burnout is real and staffing shortages are taking a toll.
These companies, these corporations, these hospitals, they bet on the fact that you are a good person. They bet that You will stretch yourselves thin to answer every call, like to go into every room, to do everything you have to do because you actually care about these patients.
A key contract deadline for healthcare workers hits at the end of this month. CBS 8 received a statement from Kaiser that says they are confident they will reach an agreement before then. For the full statement, go to our website, cbs8.com.
Today, people flying into and out of San Diego International Airport braced for a travel crush as Labor Day weekend comes to a close.
CBS 8's Anna Laurel spent the whole day out at the airport, and she joins us live there with how things are going tonight. Anna?
It is really smooth, you guys. To be honest, you really wouldn't know that this is a travel weekend, in my opinion. It seems like just any other night at the airport. I thought it was going to be busier as the day went on, but seems like it's coming in waves. So we just had a bunch of people. They probably have a big flight that's getting ready to take off here in about an hour or two. And I'm seeing the TSA line is starting to back up, but nothing unusual, which is good because people did say they were bracing for the worst, and it's actually a lot better than they feared. Here they come. Today predicted to be the busiest return day for holiday travelers.
I live in Florida.
We flew out of Sacramento.
Why did you leave San Diego?
Family reunion.
As summer winds down, people traveling into and out of San Diego International Airport took full advantage of their last holiday weekend before the school year gets into full swing.
We stayed over at Coronado. We just enjoyed the beach, had a lot of fun. And
Adult fun.
Yeah.
14 million Americans expected to travel this weekend. 80,000 per day arriving or departing out of San Diego International now through Wednesday.
We heard it was going to be busy coming back here today, and traffic was a little busy getting into the airport.
This was the scene outside around noon to get into the airport to pick people up and drop them off. This seemed to be the busiest area we saw. Later this afternoon, things were quiet, even at the TSA line.
It hasn't been bad. Normally, what you expect on a holiday weekend.
I did hear it was going to be a big travel weekend, but no. I feel like everyone's trying to give off San Diego energy.
As this travel season breaks records, the busiest since the pandemic, here at San Diego International, the departure board had very few delays, no cancellations. The arrival board also showed just a few delays. Were the lines to check in this morning out of your airport, were they long?
No, actually, it was really smooth.
Josh and Michelle are just coming home to San Diego from a family reunion. They say a minor delay in Texas was their only hiccup. And so, yeah, no problems. People keep stopping and saying, oh no, is something happening? Is Southwest, are the flights starting to cancel? And the answer is no. They're all going out. Looks like just a couple are delayed up on the board. A lot different than when I was out here the day after Christmas and that week of the holidays. Nothing like that tonight. Live out here at the San Diego International Airport, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8. Carlo?
No, it was pretty busy out there Friday and Saturday morning as well. Great to see things going well out there today. Now, Anna, end of last week, dozens of United Airlines flight attendants were protesting just outside of Terminal 2. That was last Thursday, just as the weekend was getting going. Anything like that going on out there today?
No, I checked on that. They were not out here today. They were out there last week because they want United to improve staffing levels and infrastructure issues that they were pointing out. I did hear that American Airlines pilots were going to protest or strike outside some larger U.S. airports, but everyone that I talked to that was coming in from all over the country today, I would ask them, did you see anything like that? Any hiccups anywhere else? No, they reported no problems. I didn't see anything like that on Twitter or social media either. So a lot more smooth than people were worried about.
All right, Anna Laurel from a relatively calm San Diego International Airport. Thanks, Anna. Meantime, from Imperial Beach to Mission Beach to Del Mar to Oceanside, San Diego beaches are a popular destination today with locals hitting the sand as well as visitors from all across the country. It wasn't picture perfect everywhere, though. Contaminated water signs are posted at Imperial Beach. Now, despite the warning, we did see skimboarders and surfers out in the water there. Meantime, others, they stayed on the sand playing volleyball or maybe just catching some rays.
Our Sean Stiles has been cooking up a Labor Day feast on our back lot all afternoon.
Tonight, he's ready to serve the main course for us. Sean, what have you been up to out there, and what do you have for us?
Well, Carla, you're the odd man out here because Marcella got some, Heather got some. You've been working your tail off out there along with myself and photographer, producer John Steinbach. We are making kind of an Asian Mediterranean American Labor Day feast. I went ahead and made a marinade with some something that most folks don't use, a fish sauce, a little bit of coconut milk, a lime, and then the ever popular sriracha. This stuff is hard to come by, so if you can't find it, you can go without. And then what it looks like, we also made a dressing that goes over these kebabs that are on some lettuce, and I went ahead and marinated those, and then I put them up on some skewers. I soaked the skewers for at least 2 hours, and they've been cooking on the grill. Let's go get those, and then we'll show you what this all looks like. Look at these bad boys here. We've got them coming off the grill right now, and they are nice and hot. And see, when I have them, the skewers soaked like that, I can, for the most part, not have to worry about them breaking or burning off in the grill, except for a couple here that got a little too hot and they're burnt off there. But those are your skewers, and so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plate this up here. I've gone ahead and got those hearts of romaine lettuce, and what I did is I cut them, trimmed them up so they're nice and tidy here, soaked them in ice water, put them back in the refrigerator so they're nice and crisp. And what I'm gonna do with these is I'm just gonna take my skewers and I'm gonna lie them in there just like that, because I like the way this presentation looks. I like something a little bit different. We'll make it fancier as we get to it here. And we put these in so when the folks come, your guests, they have a nice little something to look at there. So part of the presentation is what you see as well. So with this, then we're going to take our dressing here, and the sriracha dressing, you can add a little bit more after you've got the marinade, because you kind of want to spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to drizzle that over the top of each of these kebabs, and the reason I put it over the meat is because I want it to be absorbed into the freshly cooked protein. Now, we also did this with chicken, and I highly recommend that. To this, I take a little bit of scallions, not the white part and not the full green part, but the kind of light green area there, and I cut them on the bias. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you see how they're cut on an angle? Kind of looks cooler, and I just like the way they fan out when you take them apart and put them in there. A little bit of cilantro, and some people don't like cilantro. I think it really adds a lot to this whole dish, and so if you can convince them to try it, I highly recommend it. And then if you're going to use these peanuts, make sure you don't get the salted ones, that you get ones that are pre-roasted, and then you go ahead and dice them up. And then to this, I toast some sweet coconut over this. And so you've got the crunchiness of the lettuce, you have the heat from the sriracha, and the sweet from the toasted coconut. So there are the kebabs. That's your main course. And on the side, check this out. We made our potato salad earlier using the tricolored potatoes, purple, red, and white, the little baby ones. And instead of using mayonnaise, we used yogurt. So this is kind of a Mediterranean style potato salad. And then these are nasturtiums from our Grangetto's garden. Nasturtium flowers and leaves are edible. So all of these recipes are available on our website, cbs8.com. But wait, there's more. Dessert, peaches. Oh. Peaches are coming in the second half hour.
Okay, it looks delicious.
Just a feast. It looks perfect. And I wish people could see how much you love gardening in our little elevated garden box from Grangetto's.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the tomatoes and the bell peppers. And
so much stuff already.
Yeah, a lot of people taking some herbs too.
All right.
Very nice, Sean. It looks light. You know, you don't want anything too heavy like the burger.
Not when I go back for thirds. But there you go. Thanks, Sean. Still ahead tonight, a program that's helping veterans find jobs on this Labor Day.
Plus, you may have some federal help when it comes to making your student loan payments easier.
Daytime highs for today were below seasonal just by a couple degrees. That was for downtown, but we're going to have those temperatures being in that range for a few more days. Just how long? Details ahead.
And up next, a muddy mess of a weekend for tens of thousands of people stranded at Burning Man.